Hadith Qurb al-Nawafil, the Hadith of Voluntary Devotions. Allah, the Mighty and Majestic, said, "Whoever shows hostility toward a friend, wali of mine, has declared war against me. My servant draws not near to me with anything more beloved to me than what I have made obligatory upon him. Then my servant continues to draw near to me through voluntary acts of worship until I love him. And when I love him, I become the hearing with which he hears, the sight with which he sees, the tongue with which he speaks, and the hand with which he strikes. If he calls upon me, I answer him. If he asks of me, I give him." Allah has strictly forbidden harming a believer unjustly and has warned anyone who dares to do so with severe punishment in this world and the hereafter. This prohibition becomes even more serious and the warning even more severe when the one being harmed is among the righteous servants of Allah. In this Hadith Qudsi, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him and his family, relates that Allah, the Exalted, said, "Whoever shows enmity toward one of my friends, awliya, meaning whoever harms one of Allah's saints or close friends. A wali of Allah is the believing, God-conscious servant who possesses knowledge of Allah, remains steadfast in his obedience, and is sincere in worship. He is also one whose affairs Allah himself takes charge of, never leaving him to himself even for the blink of an eye. Rather, Allah personally watches over and protects him. Alternatively, he is one who continuously devotes himself to the worship and obedience of Allah, whose acts of worship follow one another without interruption by persistent disobedience. Whoever opposes such a servant has, in effect, declared war against Allah himself. This is the strongest possible warning, for whoever wages war against Allah, or against whom Allah wages war, is inevitably destroyed. Who could withstand a war against Allah? Allah then says, "My servant does not draw nearer to me with anything more beloved to me than what I have made obligatory upon him." That is, nothing is more beloved to Allah than the fulfillment of his obligatory commands. Thus, the 5 daily prayers are more beloved to Allah than voluntary night prayers. The obligatory fast of Ramadan is more beloved than fasting on Mondays and Thursdays, or the 6 days of Shawwal. The obligatory acts always take precedence over voluntary acts. Allah continues, "My servant continues to draw near to me through voluntary acts until I love him." This refers to voluntary prayers, fasting, charity, and every righteous deed beyond what is obligatory. These voluntary acts complete and perfect the obligatory acts. When a believer consistently fulfills both the obligations and the voluntary acts, he attains the love of Allah. When Allah loves his servant. When Allah loves his servant, he says, "I become his hearing with which he hears, his sight with which he sees, his tongue with which he speaks, his hand with which he strikes." This does not mean that Allah literally becomes the servant's physical organs. Rather, it means Allah grants the servant divine guidance and success in the use of these faculties. Allah guides his hearing, so he listens only to what pleases Allah. Allah guides his sight, so he looks only at what Allah loves and turns away from what he has forbidden. Allah guides his tongue, so that it speaks only truth and goodness. Allah guides his hand, so that it acts only in righteousness. Likewise, Allah guides his feet, so they walk only toward what pleases him.
every faculty becomes directed toward goodness through Allah's guidance. Allah further says, "If he asks me, I will surely give him. If he seeks my protection, I will surely protect him." The beloved servant becomes one whose supplications are answered. Whenever he sincerely asks Allah, Allah grants him what is best. Whenever he seeks refuge in Allah, Allah protects him from whatever he fears.
I do not hesitate. Allah then says, I do not hesitate concerning anything I am to do, as I hesitate concerning the soul of my believing servant. This hesitation is not due to uncertainty, ignorance, or inability. Allah is free from all such imperfections. Rather, it is an expression of divine mercy. Allah explains the reason. He dislikes death, and I dislike causing him distress. The believer naturally dislikes death because of its pain and separation. Allah dislikes causing pain to his beloved servant. Yet death has already been decreed by divine wisdom. Therefore, Allah wills death because his eternal decree has determined it. At the same time, Allah dislikes the sorrow experienced by his beloved servant. Thus, death is willed from one perspective, yet disliked from another because of the suffering it causes the believer. This is the true meaning of the divine hesitation mentioned in the Hadith. The spiritual reality. The servant who becomes beloved to Allah first draws near through the obligatory acts, because these are most beloved to Allah. He then perseveres in voluntary worship, because Allah also loves these acts. Eventually, the servant fills his life with everything beloved to Allah. As a result, Allah loves him. The servant's will gradually becomes aligned with the divine will. He comes to love what Allah loves and dislikes what Allah dislikes. Because Allah dislikes anything that harms his beloved servant, and because death brings hardship, Allah dislikes the distress that accompanies death. Nevertheless, his eternal decree regarding death must inevitably come to pass. Thus, death is simultaneously decreed by divine wisdom and accompanied by divine mercy toward the believer. Lessons derived from the Hadith. This Hadith teaches several profound principles. It strictly forbids harming the friends and righteous servants of Allah. It encourages love, respect, and recognition of the rank of Allah's awliya. The most beloved acts to Allah are the obligatory duties. After fulfilling the obligations, the greatest means of drawing near to Allah are the voluntary acts of worship. The Hadith demonstrates the lofty rank and honor of Allah's saints. Through sincere obedience, voluntary worship, and divine love, the believer's hearing, sight, speech, and actions become guided and illuminated by Allah, until every aspect of life becomes an expression of closeness to Him.